I ask you to set aside all preconceived notions about the phrase 1 a.m., about identity, and about the nature of your own being. For tonight we shall explore a truth so profound, yet so often overlooked, that it has the power to completely revolutionize your life in ways you have never imagined possible. Consider for a moment the words I am. These two simple words are the most powerful in any language, for they are the name of God, the creative principle of the universe. When you declare I am, you are invoking the divine presence within you, the very source of all creation. And what follows these words shapes your reality in ways beyond your current comprehension. But what is this I am secret that is destroying your life? It is not the use of I am itself, but the unconscious, habitual, and often negative way in which most people use it. It is the careless attachment of limiting beliefs, destructive self-concepts, and disempowering states of being to these divine words. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. Your outer world, every experience you have, every circumstance you encounter, is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world, your concept of self. And this concept of self is shaped, moment by moment, by your I am declarations. When you understand this, truly understand it, you realize that by carelessly using I am statements, you are actively creating a reality that may be far from what you desire. This understanding is crucial, for it shifts the entire paradigm of how you approach life. No longer are you a helpless being at the mercy of external circumstances, hoping for favorable conditions. You become the active creator of your reality, knowing that as you declare I am, the universe must rearrange itself to match these declarations. But how, you may ask, can two simple words have such a profound and lasting impact? The answer lies in the creative power of your wonderful human imagination combined with the intensity of your feeling and belief. For your imagination is not a mere fantasy maker, and your feelings are not mere reactions to external stimuli. Together, they form the very workshop in which reality is forged. Let us take a moment to truly understand this. Your subconscious mind, which is one with the universal creative force, does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and feel as true and what you actually experience in the outer world. It accepts as true whatever you feel to be true in your I am statements. And once it accepts an idea as true, it proceeds to bring it into manifestation in your physical reality, regardless of how long it takes in clock time. So when you carelessly declare, I am tired, I am broke, I am sick, you are not merely describing your current state. You are actively creating and perpetuating these conditions in your life. You are breathing life into these states of being, causing them to become your sustained reality. This, my dear listeners, is the I am secret that is destroying your life. It is about recognizing that the power to shape your reality lies within you, waiting to be expressed through your conscious I am declarations. It is about understanding that your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner conversations, which are anchored in your I am statements. Consider the biblical phrase, I am that I am. This is not a mere redundancy. It is a statement of cosmic law, an invitation to recognize the power of your I am declarations. When you declare I am, you are defining your state of being, and the universe must conform to this declaration. But let me be clear. The solution is not to stop using I am statements altogether. That would be impossible, for I am is the fundamental assertion of existence. The key is to become conscious of how you use these powerful words, to use them deliberately and wisely. Let us explore this further with an example. Imagine a person who habitually declares, I am always late. This person may not realize it, but they are programming their subconscious mind to create situations that ensure their lateness. They may oversleep, encounter unexpected traffic, or face last-minute emergencies that delay them. The universe is simply conforming to their I am declaration. Now imagine this same person becoming aware of this habit and consciously changing their declaration to I am always punctual. As they persist in this new declaration, feeling its truth, living from this new state of being, they will find circumstances rearranging themselves to ensure their punctuality. They may start waking up earlier naturally, finding quicker routes, or becoming more efficient in their preparations. This principle applies to every aspect of your life. Whether you're dealing with health, relationships, career, or any other area, your I am declarations are shaping your reality. The secret that has been destroying your life is the unconscious, negative use of these declarations. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, isn't this just positive thinking? Isn't this denial of reality? And to this I say emphatically no. This is not about denying your current circumstances. It is about understanding the true nature of reality and the creative power of your consciousness. Your current circumstances are nothing more than the fruit of your past I am declarations and beliefs about yourself. They have no power to determine your future unless you give them that power by continuing to affirm them in your I am statements. When you shift your declarations, when you begin to consciously choose empowering I am statements, you are not denying reality. You are exercising your divine right to choose which reality you wish to experience. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no life of its own. It is your consciousness, expressed through your I am declarations, that gives life to your experiences. When you unconsciously make negative I am statements, you are breathing life into a reality you do not desire. But when you consciously choose empowering I am declarations, you cause what outer world to rearrange itself to match these new inner assertions. This, my dear friends, is the key to stopping the destruction caused by the misuse of I am. It is about aligning your I am declarations with the highest vision of yourself and your life, recognizing that this desired reality is seeking expression through you, and allowing it to flow into your experience through the power of your conscious I am statements. But let me warn you, this shift in your use of I am is not always an easy task. The old habits of negative self-talk, of unconsciously making limiting I am statements, are deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness. As you embark on this new way of using I am, you may find resistance arising within you. Doubts may creep in, old thought patterns may try to reassert themselves. When this happens, do not fight against these thoughts. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently return to your empowering I am declarations. For the war is not won by battling against what you don't want to be, but by persistently declaring what you do want to be. This persistence, this unwavering commitment to maintaining empowering I am declarations in the face of contrary evidence is what allows you to truly change your life. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're trying to listen to a particular station, you don't focus on eliminating all the other stations. You simply tune into the frequency you desire. In the same way, you don't need to fight against your current reality or forcefully push away negative thoughts. You simply need to tune yourself to the frequency of your desired state of being, to align your I am declarations with the highest vision of your life and your life. This tuning is done through your conscious choice of I am statements and your ability to feel the reality of these words. Your I am declarations are the dial that allows you to tune into different frequencies of experience. As you use your I am statements to declare empowering truths about yourself, as you feel the reality of these declarations, you are tuning yourself to that frequency, allowing the corresponding experiences to flow into your life. But remember, my friends, this is not a one-time event. Using I am declarations consciously and powerfully is a way of life. It's a constant choice to maintain these empowering statements, regardless of appearances. Just as you wouldn't expect to stay in shape by exercising once, You cannot expect to change your life by using positive I am declarations once. This is about persistently maintaining empowering I am declarations, about living from this consciousness day in and day out until it becomes your new normal. As you do this, you will find that your perception of yourself and your life begins to shift. What once seemed like limitations now appear as opportunities for growth. Challenges become stepping stones to success. You begin to see yourself as the empowered being you truly are, knowing that your I am declarations are constantly shaping your reality. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Neville, how can I maintain empowering I am declarations when I face real challenges? How can I declare success when my current reality seems to contradict these statements? And to this I say your I am declarations infused with feeling and imagination are more powerful than any circumstance. Consider for a moment, have you ever been deeply moved by a story, whether in a book or a movie? In those moments, were you not feeling real emotions based on imaginary events? Your feelings were real, even though the events were not happening in your physical reality. This is the power you must harness when you use your I am declarations. You must use your imagination to infuse your I am statements with feeling. As you declare I am successful, imagine how you would feel if this statement were already true in your life. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the sense of accomplishment that would come with this reality. Feel these states as vividly and as consistently as you can as you make your I am declarations. The key is to make your I am declarations as real to you as possible. Engage all your senses. As you declare I am abundant, feel the sense of security and freedom that comes with abundance. As you affirm I am in perfect health, feel the vitality and energy coursing through your body. As you state I am achieving my goals, see yourself in your mind's eye reaching those milestones. Hear the congratulations of others. Feel the sense of fulfillment. Make it real in mind and heart as you speak your I am declarations. But here's a crucial point, my friends. The goal is not to use I am declarations about specific outcomes. The goal is to use I am statements that align with your essential self, your true identity. For it is this alignment with your true self that is the real key to stopping the destruction caused by misuse of I am. Let me illustrate this with an example. Instead of just declaring I am wealthy, align your I am statement with the essence of abundance. Declare I am one with the source of all abundance. I am worthy of unlimited prosperity. I am a channel through which abundance flows. Instead of merely stating I am successful, align your declaration with the essence of success by declaring I am capable of achieving greatness. I am constantly growing and improving. I am fulfilling my highest potential. By aligning your I am declarations with your essential self, rather than just external conditions, you allow the universe to bring your desires to you in ways that might far exceed your specific imaginings. You open yourself to possibilities beyond what your current mindset can conceive. This is the true art of using I am declarations to stop the destruction in your life. It's not about forcing yourself to believe something against all evidence. It's about aligning your declarations with the truth of your divine nature, your oneness with the creative power of the universe. It's about using I am statements that resonate with the highest vision of who you truly are. As you practice this, you may find that your outer world begins to shift in subtle ways. Perhaps you start to feel more confident and worthy, or you find yourself naturally making choices that align with your empowering I am declarations, or opportunities that resonate with your new self-concept seem to appear out of nowhere. These are all signs that your inner shift, brought about by your conscious use of I am, is creating ripples in your outer reality. Don't discount these small changes. Celebrate them. See them as confirmation that the law is working, that your I am declarations are taking root. But don't become attached to them or anxiously look for them. Simply acknowledge them with gratitude and continue to use your empowering I am declarations. As you persist in this practice, larger changes will begin to manifest. You may find yourself naturally attracting more positive experiences. You may notice that your relationships improve, that your career flourishes, that abundance flows more freely into your life. And as you continue to maintain these empowering I am declarations, you'll discover that life becomes an exciting adventure of ever-expanding good. But remember, the outer manifestation is not the goal. The goal is the state of consciousness from which all desired experiences naturally flow. This is a crucial point, my friends. When you're truly embodying your I am declarations, when you're fully living from these empowering statements, you no longer need external circumstances to confirm your worth or your truth. You're already whole, already complete in your knowing that you are a divine, limitless being. And paradoxically, it's in this state of inner assurance that you're most likely to experience a life filled with manifest blessings. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Don't we need to do things in the physical world to bring about change? And to this I say, yes, action is part of the process. But it's inspired action, not anxious doing. When you're consistently using empowering I am declarations, ideas and opportunities will naturally present themselves to you. You'll feel inspired to take certain actions, to move in certain directions. These actions won't feel like struggle or effort. They'll feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. This is the difference between trying to make things happen and allowing them to happen. When you're trying to force change, actions feel stressful, born out of fear and doubt. When you're maintaining empowering I am declarations, actions flow naturally from your aligned state, guided by an inner wisdom that knows exactly how to bring about the manifestation of your desires. Consider the example of a seed growing into a mighty oak tree. The seed doesn't strain to become a tree. It doesn't force itself to grow. It simply unfolds naturally, expressing its innate potential. You, my dear listeners, are no different. When you align your I am declarations with your true divine nature, you allow your life to unfold naturally and beautifully, expressing the infinite potential that is your birthright. But let me be clear, this state of allowing is not passive. It requires an active use of your I am declarations, a deliberate and consistent practice of affirming empowering truths about yourself. It requires faith, not blind faith in external circumstances, but faith in the creative power of your consciousness and your I am declarations. This faith is not about believing that good things will come someday in the future. It's about knowing that you are whole and complete now, in this very moment, and that your I am declarations are constantly shaping your reality to reflect this empowered state. As you cultivate this faith, as you persist in using empowering I am declarations, you'll begin to see evidence of these affirmations manifesting in your outer world. These signs may start small, an unexpected opportunity, a fortuitous coincidence, a sudden insight that changes everything. Do not discount these signs, no matter how small they may seem, for they are confirmation that your inner world, shaped by your empowering I am declarations, is indeed shaping your outer reality. They are breadcrumbs leading you to the full realization of the life you are creating through your conscious uses of I am. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to address a common concern that arises when people first encounter this teaching. Many worry that focusing on I am declarations might somehow make them selfish or disconnected from others. But I assure you, my friends, the opposite is true. When you truly understand the principle of I am declarations, you realize that you are not separate from others. As you elevate your own consciousness through your declarations, you are elevating the consciousness of all. Your empowering I am statements, far from disconnecting you from others, actually expand the field of possibilities for all. Moreover, when you are coming from a place of inner empowerment, through your I am declarations, you naturally have more to give to others. You become a channel through which blessings flow not just to you, but through you to the world. Your I am declarations create a ripple effect, touching the lives of everyone you encounter with your newfound energy, confidence, and joy. This is the true gift of using I am declarations consciously and powerfully. It's not just about improving your individual circumstances, although that will happen. It's about aligning yourself with the fundamental nature of the universe, which is boundless good. It's about recognizing your own divine nature and allowing it to express itself fully through you. In this state of alignment, of consistently maintaining empowering I am declarations, you become a channel for the most beautiful expressions of life. Ideas flow to you effortlessly. Opportunities present themselves naturally. The right people and circumstances appear in your life at the perfect time. This is the magic of living from a state of empowered I am consciousness. But remember, this magic is not something external to you. It's not some cosmic force that you need to appease or manipulate. It is the natural expression of your own consciousness when it's aligned with the truth of your being. You are the power. You are the magic. You are the one to whom you are speaking these empowering I am declarations. As we draw our time together to a close, I want to leave you with a 5-thought. The principle we've explored tonight, stop. This I am secret destroying your life is not just a warning. It's about recognizing your true nature as a divine created being. It's about aligning your I am declarations with the fundamental truth of your being and allowing your grandest expression to flow through you. When you live from this understanding, everything changes. The world becomes a friendly place filled with infinite possibilities. You no longer see yourself as a small, separate being struggling against external forces. Instead, you recognize yourself as the author of your own life story, the creator of your own thriving reality. In this state, there's no need to fear the future or doubt your ability to create the life you desire. For you understand that you are the source of all creation in your experience. Your job is simply to maintain empowering I am declarations to live from this consciousness and to allow the universe to arrange the details of their manifestation. So, my dear friends, as you leave here tonight, I urge you to embrace this principle with all your heart. Don't see it as a technique to be applied occasionally, but as a way of life to be lived continuously. Use your mighty imagination to infuse your I am declarations with feeling. Feel the naturalness of being the empowered divine being you truly are. Live from this state. Persist in these declarations and watch as your world rearranges itself to match your inner vision. Remember, you are not a limited being struggling to improve. You are the infinite consciousness, choosing to experience growth and transformation from this particular vantage point. Your I am declarations are the tools through which you shape your experience. Use them wisely with the awareness of your true nature and the responsibility that comes with it. Go forth and create the fulfilling, joyous life that is your birthright, knowing that with each empowering I am declaration, you are aligning more fully with the truth of your dying limitless nature. The greatest secret, the most profound truth about how God introduces you to your soulmate is this. God does not introduce you to your soulmate at all, for God is you. And you are already creating this divine union in your imagination, whether you realize it or not. The true nature of God and your imagination. Let me begin by clarifying what I mean when I speak of God. I am not referring to some external deity sitting on a throne in the distant heavens, manipulating the circumstances of your life according to some mysterious plan. No. When I speak of God, I am referring to the divine presence that dwells within you, your own wonderful human imagination. Your imagination is God in action. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The word here is not some abstract concept, but the internal conversation you carry on with yourself day after day. It is this inner conversation, this use of your divine imagination, that is creating every circumstance in your life, including the arrival of your soulmate. You see, most people have it entirely backward. They believe that God, some external force, will somehow orchestrate the perfect meeting with their ideal partner when the time is right. They wait and they pray and they hope, looking outward for signs, when all along the creative power lies within them. They are waiting for a God outside themselves to perform an act that only the God within them, their own wonderful human imagination, can perform. The LA and the promise. There are two aspects to this divine operation, what I call the law and the promise. The law is this: imagining creates reality. Whatever you assume to be true, whatever you feel to be real while in a state akin to sleep, that is, while your attention is focused exclusively on your inner world, must objectify itself in your outer world. This is not some metaphysical speculation, but a principle as reliable as gravity. It cannot fail. The promise is that you will awaken to the realization that you are God, the sole creator of your life experience. When it comes to your soulmate, both the law and the promise are at work. Through the law, you can manifest the specific relationship your heart desires. Through the promise, you will eventually realize that this outer relationship is but a reflection of an inner union that has already taken place. The creative power of imagination. Now let us explore how this creative power, your imagination, actually works to bring your soulmate into your life. Most people think that what they observe in their world is the cause of what they feel. They believe that when they finally meet the right one, then they will feel loved, complete, fulfilled. But this is completely backward. Feeling is the secret. Feeling is not the result of having found your soulmate. Feeling is the cause that brings your soulmate to you. Let me repeat that. Feeling is not the effect, feeling is the cause. You must first generate within yourself the feeling that would naturally follow having already met and united with your soulmate. You must live from the end. What does it feel like to be in the perfect relationship? Is it a feeling of security, of passion, of being completely understood, of peaceful companionship? Whatever that feeling is for you, you must capture it and dwell in it, knowing that this feeling is the creative force that will rearrange the circumstances of your life to match it. But you might ask, Neville, how can I feel that which has not yet happened? And I would answer, your imagination is the bridge. Through the controlled use of your imagination, you can experience now what your senses deny. This is the true meaning of faith, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, living from the end. Here is the practical application of what I am telling you tonight as you lie in your bed. Quiet your mind and body until you reach that drowsy, sleepy state just before sleep claims you. In this state, construct a scene that implies you have already found and united with your soulmate. Perhaps you imagine lying beside them, feeling their presence, their warmth. Perhaps you imagine introducing them to a friend or family member, hearing yourself say, I'd like you to meet my husband, wife. Perhaps you imagine celebrating an anniversary, looking back on years of joy spent together. Whatever scene you choose, it must imply that the relationship is already a fact. And as you construct this scene, involve all your senses. Feel the warmth of their embrace, hear their voice, smell their scent, see their smile. Make it as real as possible in your imagination. And most importantly, capture and intensify the feeling that this scene evokes within you. Then, as you drift off to sleep, carry this feeling with you. Let it be the last thing in your consciousness as sleep claims you. For it is this feeling impressed upon your subconscious mind that will work night and day to bring about its physical equivalent in your world, the Sabbath. And once you have performed this imaginative act, you must enter what the Bible calls the Sabbath. The Sabbath is not a day of the week, but a state of consciousness. It is a state of complete rest, where you cease from all effort, knowing that what you have imagined must come to pass. To enter the Sabbath means to live as though your desire has already been fulfilled. You don't continue to ask or beg or plead for your soulmate to appear, for that would imply they are absent. Instead, you give thanks for their presence in your life, even though your senses may not yet confirm it. This is perhaps the most difficult part for most people. They perform the imaginative act, and then they look to the world for confirmation. When they don't see immediate results, they become anxious, doubtful, and begin the whole process again, never allowing the seed they have planted to grow to full manifestation. But I tell you this, God's promises are yes and amen. What you have conceived in your imagination, with feeling, must objectify itself in your world. It is law, but you must give it time to unfold according to its own pattern, its own rhythm. You must remain faithful to your imaginative act, persisting in the assumption that what you have imagined is already done. Your inner conversations. Now, let me speak about something that many of you may not have considered: your inner conversations. Throughout the day, you are constantly talking to yourself, carrying on internal dialogues. These inner conversations are powerful creative forces. When it comes to your soulmate, what is the nature of your inner conversation? You tell yourself, I'll never find the right person. Do you rehearse past disappointments and project them into your future? Do you constantly question why you are still alone? If so, you are using your creative power, the God within you, to perpetuate the very state you wish to escape. Instead, revise your inner conversation to align with your desire. Speak to yourself as though your soulmate is already part of your life. Let your inner voice say, I am so grateful for the love we share, or how wonderful it is to be so perfectly matched. Make these new thought patterns a habit, and you will be amazed at how quickly your external reality begins to shift. Remember, your consciousness is the only reality. The world you experience is simply consciousness objectified. Change your consciousness through your controlled imagination and revised inner conversations, and you change your world. The bridge of incidents. Now, when you have properly impressed your subconscious mind with the feeling of your wish fulfilled, a bridge of incidents will form to lead you to the physical realization of your desire. This bridge of incidents is a series of apparently causally connected events that lead to the manifestation of your desire. You need not be concerned with how this bridge will form. That is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is only to remain faithful to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The infinite intelligence within you, which is God, knows how to bring about the perfect circumstances to unite you with your soulmate. It may not happen in the way you expect. In fact, it rarely does. You may meet this person in the most unlikely place, under the most unusual circumstances. What appears to be a chance encounter will be revealed in retrospect as part of an intricate and perfect plan that was set in motion the moment you impressed your subconscious mind with the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is how God, your own wonderful human imagination, introduces you to your soulmate. Not through external manipulation of events, but through the internal manipulation of consciousness, which then objectifies itself as the perfect series of events leading to your divine union. Recognizing your soulmate. Many wonder how they will recognize their soulmate when they appear. They fear they might miss the divine appointment or mistake someone else for their true match. But I tell you this, when you have properly used your imagination to impress the feeling of the wish fulfilled upon your subconscious mind, recognition will be automatic and mutual. For what you are really doing through this process is not so much attracting a specific person as you are attracting a specific state of consciousness, as you dwell in the feeling of having already found your perfect match. You are vibrating at the frequency of that fulfilled relationship. And only someone who is vibrating at that same frequency can come into your experience as a permanent fixture. This is why false relationships so often fail. When we try to make someone fit our idea of the perfect partner without having first established within ourselves the consciousness of the perfect relationship, we are working against the law, not with it. Your soulmate is not so much a specific individual as they are the perfect embodiment of the state of consciousness you have established within yourself. Change your consciousness, and you change who can appear in your world as a match. The naturalness of the process. I want to emphasize the naturalness of this process. When you have successfully impressed your subconscious mind with the feeling of your wish fulfilled, the manifestation of your soulmate will unfold in the most natural way imaginable. There will be no strain, no struggle. It will not feel like a miracle, though in retrospect, you may marvel at the perfect orchestration of events that brought you together. This is because the outer world is a mirror reflecting back to you your own consciousness. When your consciousness is filled with the feeling of having already found your soulmate, the mirror must reflect that back to you in the form of an actual relationship. It cannot do otherwise, for that is the law. So do not look for signs or omens or synchronicities. Do not try to force meetings or manipulate circumstances. Simply dwell in the consciousness of the wish fulfilled and let the law do its perfect work. The signs and synchronicities will come of their own accord as confirmation, not as causes of the manifestation that is already underway. The importance of self-love. Now, there is an aspect of this process that is often overlooked but is absolutely crucial: self-love. For the state of consciousness that manifests your soulmate must include a deep and abiding love for yourself. Without this foundation, no lasting union is possible. Many seek a soulmate to fill a void within themselves, to complete what they perceive as lacking. But I tell you, from the state of lack, you can only create more lack. It is only from the state of wholeness that you can create a whole and fulfilling relationship. So before you enter into the imagination session I described earlier, first establish within yourself a feeling of self-completeness. Recognize that the God within you, your own wonderful human imagination, is the source of all love, all fulfillment. You are not seeking someone to complete you. You are seeking someone with whom to share your completeness. This shift in consciousness is subtle but profound. It changes the entire vibration of your being and attracts a completely different quality of relationship than the one sought from a place of lack or need. Revision of the past. For some of you, past relationships have left scars that make it difficult to imagine and feel the reality of a fulfilling soulmate connection. If this is the case, you must use the principle of revision to heal these wounds. Revision is the art of mentally rewriting past events to align with your desires. Before you can effectively impress upon your subconscious mind the feeling of a perfect soulmate relationship, you may need to revise the memories that contradict this new assumption. Each night before you enter into your imagination session focused on your soulmate, take a few moments to revise any painful relationship memories. Reimagine them as you wish they had happened. Feel the relief, the joy, the closure that comes with this revised version. Do this consistently, and you will find that the emotional charge of these memories begins to fade, making room for your new assumptions about love and partnership to take root. The divine timing. Many of you may be wondering about timing. When will my soulmate appear? Is a question I hear often. But I must tell you that time is a concept that exists only in the world of effects, not in the world of causes. In the realm of imagination, which is the causal realm, there is no time. There is only the state of consciousness that you occupy. The appearance of your soulmate in your physical reality is subject to what the Bible calls the fullness of time. This means that the manifestation will occur when all the necessary components have aligned, when your consciousness is stable in the assumption of the wish fulfilled, when the bridge of incidents has been properly constructed, and when both you and your soulmate are vibrating at frequencies that allow for the divine union. This is not to say that manifestation must take a long time. I have witnessed cases where soulmates have appeared within days of a successful imaginative act. I have also seen cases where the manifestation took months or even years. The variable is not God's willingness to grant your desire for God. Your own wonderful human imagination has already granted it the moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The variable is your ability to maintain that assumption consistently, without contradiction, until it hardens into fact. Testing the law. Well, I encourage you to test this law for yourself. Do not take my word for it. The Bible says, taste and see that the Lord is good. Experience for yourself the creative power of your own imagination. Tonight, as you lie in bed, construct the scene that implies you have already found and united with your soulmate. Feel the reality of it. Fall asleep in that feeling. Do this for 30 consecutive nights, without wavering, without looking for results, simply as an experiment in consciousness. At the end of those 30 days, You will have planted a seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind that must, by law, grow into the manifestation of your desire. And as you go through your days, revise your inner conversations to align with this new assumption. Speak to yourself as though your soulmate is already part of your life. Then release all anxiety about when or how they will appear. Enter the Sabbath, that state of complete rest, in the knowledge that what you have in mind must come to pass. Live as though your desire is already fulfilled. For in the realm of imagination, which is the only reality it is, a transformation of consciousness. What I am describing to you is not just a technique for manifesting a soulmate. It is a complete transformation of consciousness. As you apply these principles to this specific desire, you will find that your entire life begins to transform. For you cannot dwell in the consciousness of being loved, cherished, and perfectly matched without that consciousness spilling over into all areas of your life. Your relationships with family and friends will improve. Your work will become more fulfilling. Your health may even show signs of improvement. This is because you are aligning with the truth of your being that you are God, expressing as the specific individual you perceive yourself to be. This transformation of consciousness is the real miracle, far more significant than the appearance of any specific person in your life. But when you realize that you are the operant power in your world, that your imagination creates reality, you are free from victim consciousness forever. You no longer see yourself as subject to external forces, waiting for fate or chance to bring you what you desire. You recognize yourself as the author of your experience, the creator of your destiny. And from this elevated state of consciousness, your soulmate appears not as someone who will save you or complete you, but as the perfect reflection of the divine love you have awakened within yourself. This is the true divine union, not the union of two incomplete halves, but the union of two whole beings who recognize in each other the God that they themselves are. The persistence of faith. I must speak now about the importance of persistence. For many of you will begin this practice with great enthusiasm, only to abandon it when results do not immediately appear. This is the pattern I have observed in countless students over the years. They start with conviction but lack the persistence to see their desires through to manifestation. Faith is not a momentary surge of belief. It is the persistent occupation of the desired state. It is the unwavering confidence that what you have imagined and felt as real in your imagination must objectify itself in your physical reality. This kind of faith is rare, but it is the key to successful manifestation. When doubts arise, and they will arise, do not fight them or deny them. Simply observe them, and then gently return to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Each time you successfully return to that feeling despite contrary evidence, you strengthen the impression on your subconscious mind, bringing the manifestation closer. Remember the story of the fig tree in the Bible. Jesus cursed it, and it appeared unchanged. But he did not doubt his word. He continued on his way, confident that what he had decreed must come to pass. And when they passed by the fig tree again, it had withered from the roots. This is the model of perfect faith, speaking the word and then proceeding in the absolute confidence that it will manifest regardless of appearances. The role of gratitude. As you walk this path toward the manifestation of your soulmate, let gratitude be your constant companion. Gratitude is the highest vibration, the most magnetic attitude of mind. When you are grateful for your soulmate before they physically appear, you are functioning at the highest spiritual level. Each night as you perform your imaginative scene, concluded with deep and sincere gratitude. Thank God, your own wonderful human imagination, for having already granted your desire. Feel the gratitude that naturally accompanies the receipt of something precious and long desired. This attitude of gratitude accelerates manifestation because it affirms that what you have imagined is already yours. It closes the gap between your desire and its fulfillment, bringing them together in the eternal now. The signs following. Although I have cautioned you against looking for signs, it is natural that as your manifestation approaches physical realization, certain signs will begin to appear. You may find yourself randomly thinking about love and relationships more often. You may notice happy couples everywhere you go. You may even have dreams of your soulmate before you meet them physically. These signs are not the cause of your manifestation, but the effects of your changed consciousness. They are confirmations that the bridge of incidents is under construction. Welcome them, but do not become attached to them. They are signposts along the way, not the destination itself. And when your soulmate does appear in your life, it will seem so natural, so perfect, that you may temporarily forget the imaginative work you did to bring them to you. This too is part of the process. For the law works best when it seems not to be working at all, when manifestation appears to be the result of natural causes rather than spiritual law. But in quiet moments of reflection, you will recognize the truth that this divine union was orchestrated not by some external deity, but by the God within you, your own wonderful human imagination. And in this recognition lies a power and a freedom beyond anything you have previously known. The perfection of the law. I want to address a concern that many have expressed to me over the years. They worry that if they use their imagination to manifest a specific type of person as their soulmate, they might somehow interfere with free will or divine order. But this concern is based on a misunderstanding of the law. The law of assumption does not override anyone's free will. It simply draws to you the people and circumstances that align with your state of consciousness. Your soulmate is drawn to you by the same law that draws you to them. Their appearance in your life is as much their manifestation as it is yours. This is the perfect operation of divine law. You are not forcing anyone to be with you against their will. You are simply aligning yourself with the state of consciousness in which your soulmate is already present. And from that state, the law works to bring together those who are vibrating at compatible frequencies. So release all concerns about interfering with the natural order. There is no order more natural than that established by your own divine imagination. Trust in the perfection of the law and allow it to work its wonders in your life. The evolution of the relationship. Now, once your soulmate has appeared in your life, the work of imagination does not cease. For relationships are dynamic, evolving entities. The same law that brings you together will keep you in harmony and deepen your connection as you continue to use your imagination constructively. If challenges arise, as they do in even the most divinely orchestrated unions, return to your imagination. Construct scenes that imply the resolution of these challenges. Feel the relief, the renewed harmony and understanding. Fall asleep in this feeling and watch as your relationship transforms to match your imagined state. This ongoing use of imagination is the secret to a relationship that continues to grow and thrive through the years. For the law never ceases to operate. What you continue to imagine and feel as real will continue to objectify itself in your experience. The ultimate revelation. And now I come to the ultimate revelation about how God introduces you to your soulmate. The greatest secret is this: your soulmate is not outside you, but within you. The relationship you seek in the external world is but a reflection of a union that must first be consummated within your own being. In the deepest spiritual sense, your soulmate is your own divine nature seeking expression through relationship. The love you seek is your own love, reflected back to you through another. The companionship you desire is communion with the God within you, made tangible in the form of another person. When you fully realize this truth, you understand that the purpose of the soulmate relationship is not merely personal happiness, but spiritual awakening. Through the mirror of relationship, you come to know yourself as God, the creator of your reality. This is the ultimate purpose of all manifestation, all desire. So as you lie in bed tonight, constructing your scene that implies you have already found and united with your soulmate, know that you are doing far more than manifesting a relationship. You are participating in the greatest spiritual adventure possible, the discovery of your true divine nature through the perfect deflection of love. Conclusion: the promise fulfilled. I have shared with you tonight the law by which God, your own wonderful human imagination, introduces you to your soulmate. I have given you the practical steps to apply this law in your life. But beyond the law lies the promise that you will awaken to the realization that you are God, expressing as the specific individual you perceive yourself to be. This awakening is the true purpose of all desire, all manifestation. Your desire for a soulmate is not merely a human longing for companionship. It is the divine within you seeking to know itself through relationship. As you use your imagination to manifest your soulmate, you are participating in this greater spiritual purpose. And when you look into the eyes of your beloved and recognize there the God that you yourself are, the circle is complete. The promise is fulfilled. You have not only found your soulmate, you have found yourself. You have experienced the truth of the ancient teaching, I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine. This is the ultimate revelation about how God introduces you to your soulmate. God does not introduce you to someone outside yourself. God, your own wonderful human imagination reveals to you the love that you are through the perfect mirror of relationship. Tonight, as you retire to your bed, remember that you are engaging in the most divine activity possible, the activity of creation. Through your imagination, you are bringing into being not just a relationship, but a new state of consciousness, a new understanding of who and what you truly are. Feel the reality of soulmate's presence. Fall asleep in that feeling, and know with absolute certainty that what you have felt as real in imagination must objectify itself in your world, for that is the law, and the law must fulfill itself. The God in you, your own wonderful human imagination, is introducing you to your soulmate right now. As you sit in this room, absorbing these words, the introduction is taking place not in the physical world, but in the world of imagination, which is the only reality. The physical manifestation must follow, for that is the nature of creation. Trust in the law, rest in the promise, and watch in wonder as the miracle of divine union unfolds in your life, revealing to you not only the perfect partner, but the perfect self, the God that you truly are. Most people retire to their beds carrying the burdens of the day, rehearsing tomorrow's worries, or simply collapsing into unconsciousness without recognizing the magnificent opportunity that lies before them. They waste the most fertile time for planting seeds in the garden of consciousness. But you, having heard these words tonight, will never again approach sleep as merely a time of rest. You will approach it as the sacred ritual it truly is, the nightly appointment with your own divine nature. Sleep is not the opposite of consciousness. It is consciousness entering its most receptive state. When you lie down tonight and close your eyes, you are not shutting out the world. You are opening the door to a realm where all things are possible, where the laws of physics bow to the laws of consciousness, where time and space become servants to imagination rather than masters over it. Now, before I continue, let me be absolutely clear about what I mean when I speak of asking the universe. I am not suggesting that you petition some external deity or cosmic force that exists separate from yourself. The universe I speak of is not some distant, impersonal mechanism that may or may not grant your request based on your worthiness or the proper recitation of formulas. No, my friends, the universe is consciousness itself, and you are not separate from it. You are it, individualized and expressing itself as the unique being you know as yourself. When you ask the universe, you are communing with your own infinite self, that greater dimension of your being that transcends the limitations of your physical senses and rational mind. You are speaking to the power that beats your heart, that grows your hair, that heals your wounds while you sleep unconscious of the process. This same power that operates your body without your conscious direction is the power that creates your world. And sleep is when it is most accessible to your conscious direction. The secret lies in understanding that consciousness is the only reality, and everything you perceive as the physical world is consciousness pushed out, objectified, made visible and tangible. Your body, your circumstances, your relationships, your bank account, all of these are crystallized consciousness, hardened imagination made manifest. And if consciousness created them, consciousness can change them. If imagination made them visible, imagination can make them invisible and resemble something more desirable. But here's what most people fail to understand. Consciousness operates according to law, not chance. It responds to your assumptions, not your wishes. It manifests what you believe to be true about yourself and your world, not what you hope might happen. And the most powerful time to impress consciousness with new assumptions is during that drowsy state just before sleep, when the critical faculty of your conscious mind relaxes its vigilant guard and allows new impressions to sink deep into the subconscious realm where all manifestation begins. Tonight, when you prepare for sleep, you must approach this preparation with the reverence of a priest preparing for sacred ceremony. Your bedroom becomes a temple, your bed an altar, and your imagination the holy of holies where you meet with the divine. Everything you do in those precious minutes before unconsciousness claims you must be done with intention, with purpose, with the full knowledge that you are about to engage in the most important work of your day. Begin by stilling your body. Lie comfortably, but not so comfortably that you fall asleep immediately. You need to maintain just enough consciousness to direct your imagination, but relaxed enough that your critical mind cannot interfere with the process. Feel your body settling into the mattress. Feel the weight of your limbs, the slowing of your breath, the gradual release of muscular tension. This physical stillness is the foundation upon which you will build your imaginative structure. Now comes the crucial part, the framing of your request to the universe. But remember, you are not begging, pleading, or hoping. You are not asking for something you lack, because in consciousness nothing is lacking. You are simply choosing which of the infinite possibilities available to consciousness you wish to experience in your physical world. You are selecting from the vast wardrobe of existence the garment you wish to wear, the role you wish to play, the life you wish to live. Your request must be specific, but more importantly, it must be felt. The universe responds not to the words you think, but to the feeling you generate, the state of consciousness you embody. If you ask for wealth while feeling poor, consciousness receives a message of poverty, not prosperity. If you ask for love while feeling unworthy of love, consciousness manifests more experiences of being unloved. The feeling is the secret, my friends. The feeling is the prayer that consciousness answers. So tonight, when you make your request, do not simply think about what you want. Feel yourself already having it. If you desire financial abundance, do not imagine yourself asking for money. Instead, feel the security, the thrill, the joy that financial abundance would bring you. Feel yourself living from that state of consciousness where money is never a concern, where abundance is your natural condition, where prosperity flows to you as naturally as breath flows through your lungs. If you seek perfect health, do not picture yourself sick and asking to be healed. Instead, feel the vitality coursing through your body. Feel the strength in your limbs. Feel the clear, bright energy of perfect wellness. Assume the feeling of robust health so completely that illness becomes inconceivable to you. Your body must manifest what consciousness assumes to be true about it. If you long for your ideal relationship, do not imagine yourself lonely and searching. Feel yourself already loved, already cherished, already in the perfect relationship that brings you joy and fulfillment. Feel the warmth of that love, the security of that bond, the happiness of that companionship. Let this feeling saturate your being until you are that love, until you radiate the very quality that you seek to attract. The key to effective manifestation before sleep is to construct what I call an imaginal scene that would naturally occur if your desire were already fulfilled. This scene should be short, simple, and repeatable. It should involve you experiencing the fulfillment of your desire in a natural, believable way. Most importantly, it should generate the feeling of your wish fulfilled. For instance, if you desire a new home, do not imagine yourself house hunting or saving money for a down payment. Instead, imagine yourself already living in that perfect home. Perhaps you see yourself turning the key in the lock of your own front door, feeling the satisfaction of ownership. Or maybe you imagine a friend congratulating you on your beautiful new home, and you feel the joy and pride of achievement. The scene should be brief enough to loop repeatedly in your mind as you drift towards sleep, but vivid enough to generate a strong emotional response. Once you have constructed your scene, you must enter into it with all the vividness of your imagination. See what you would see, hear what you would hear, feel what you would feel if this scene were actually happening in your physical world right now. The more sensory details you can include, the more real the scene becomes to your consciousness, and the more powerfully it impresses itself upon your subconscious mind. But here is where most people fail. They perform their imaginal scene a few times, then let their minds wander to other things, often to the very problems and limitations they are trying to transcend. They pollute their consciousness with doubt, worry, or contradictory thoughts. They sabotage their own manifestation by mixing faith with fear, with doubt, creation with destruction. You must learn to maintain your imaginal scene with the persistence of a lover, returning to it again and again as your consciousness drifts towards sleep. Each time your mind wanders, and it will wander, gently bring it back to your scene. Do not struggle with wayward thoughts. Simply redirect your attention to your imaginal act with the patience of a gardener who knows that persistent watering will eventually bring forth the desired harvest. As you repeat your scene, something wonderful begins to happen. The boundary between imagination and reality starts to dissolve. Your scene becomes more real to you than your current circumstances. You begin to feel not that you are imagining something, but that you are remembering something, that what you are experiencing in imagination has already happened. This is the feeling you must cultivate, the sensation that your desire is not future but present, not possible but actual, not hoped for but possessed. The subconscious mind, which is the creative power within you, accepts as true whatever consciousness assumes to be true. It cannot distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you physically experience. To your subconscious, a vivid imaginal experience is as real as any external event. And once the subconscious accepts an assumption as fact, it begins the process of externalizing that assumption in your physical world. This is why the period just before sleep is so crucial. As consciousness descends toward the unconscious realm, the critical faculty that normally rejects new ideas as fantasy relaxes its guard. Your imagination has direct access to the subconscious, which is the seat of all creation. What you impress upon consciousness in this receptive state has tremendous power to become your experienced reality. But you must understand that manifestation is not magic in the sense of violating natural law. It is the operation of a higher law, the law of consciousness, which supersedes but does not violate the laws of the physical plane. Your imaginal act sets in motion a chain of events, attracts certain people and circumstances, and opens up opportunities that lead naturally to the fulfillment of your desire. You may not see how your desire can possibly be fulfilled from your current circumstances, but consciousness knows ways that your reasoning mind cannot conceive. Do not concern yourself with the how of manifestation. Your job is not to figure out the process, but to provide the blueprint through your imaginal act and the power through your feeling. Consciousness will handle the details of manifestation in ways that will often surprise and delight you. Your desire may be fulfilled through means and by routes that you never considered, by people you have not yet met, through opportunities that do not yet exist in your current experience. This is why you must not limit your request to the universe by specifying exactly how your desire should be fulfilled. Instead, focus on the end result, the final outcome, the state you wish to experience. Feel yourself already living in that state, and trust consciousness to bring it about in the perfect way and at the perfect time. Your job is to provide the destination. Consciousness will provide the vehicle and the route. Now I want you to understand something very important about timing. When you ask the universe before sleep to manifest your desires, you are not placing an order with a cosmic delivery service that will arrive at your doorstep within a predetermined time frame. Manifestation operates according to a different rhythm than your physical world, according to seasons of consciousness rather than calendar dates. Sometimes your desire manifests quickly within days or weeks, especially if it aligns closely with your current state of consciousness and does not require dramatic changes in your self-concept or circumstances. Other times, particularly with desires that represent significant departures from your current life, the manifestation may unfold gradually over months or even years, as consciousness slowly and systematically rearranges your world to accommodate your new assumption. Do not be discouraged by delay, and do not interpret delay as denial. Consciousness is always working, always moving in the direction of your dominant assumptions, always seeking to externalize what you have made real in imagination. Sometimes what appears to be delay is actually consciousness clearing a way obstacles, ending relationships or situations that are incompatible with your desired state, preparing the ground for your new harvest. During this period of manifestation, your job is to persist in your nightly practice, to continue impressing your subconscious with your desired state, and most importantly, to begin living from your desired state during your waking hours. You cannot spend 8 hours a day feeling poor and expect 1 hour of feeling wealthy before sleep to override that persistent negative impression. Your entire life must gradually align with your imaginal act. This is where most people fail in manifestation. They perform their technique perfectly, but continue to live from their old state of consciousness during their waking hours. They imagine abundance before sleep, but worry about bills during the day. They feel loved in their imaginal scene, but act insecure in their relationships. They visualize perfect health at night, but talk about their symptoms to anyone who will listen. You must understand that your imaginal act before sleep is not a separate activity disconnected from the rest of a race. It is the blueprint for a new state of consciousness that you must gradually embody more completely every day. Your nightly practice is the seed, but your daily life is the soil in which that seed must grow. Begin to act from your desired state during your waking hours. If you are manifesting abundance, make decisions from abundance rather than lack. If you are manifesting love, treat yourself and others with the love you seek to experience. If you are manifesting health, move and speak and think from the consciousness of perfect health. Your outer world will change as your inner world changes. As your state of consciousness shifts from lack to fulfillment, from separation to unity, from limitation to freedom. Remember that everything in your current experience was once only an imagination, only a possibility in consciousness before it became a fact in your world. Your current home, your current relationships, your current circumstances, all of these existed first in someone's imagination before they crystallized into physical form. If imagination brought your current world into being, imagination can bring a new world into being. The power that created everything you now experience as your life is the same power that will create your new life. That power is your own wonderful human imagination, operating according to the assumptions you hold to be true about yourself and your world. Change your assumptions, and you change your world. Change what you imagine to be true, and you change what you experience as true. Tonight, when you prepare for sleep, you are preparing to exercise the greatest power in the universe, the power of consciousness to create reality through imagination. You are about to engage in the same creative process that brought worlds into being, that formed galaxies and stars, that breathed life into matter and consciousness into form. You are about to become a conscious participant in the creative process rather than an unconscious victim of it. But with this power comes responsibility. You cannot create for others what they have not accepted for themselves. You cannot manifest in someone else's life what they do not believe possible for themselves. You can only create your own experience, change your own world, manifest your own desires. But as you change yourself, as you embody higher states of consciousness, you become a blessing to everyone in your world. A light that helps others see new possibilities for themselves. Use this power wisely, lovingly, constructively. Do not seek to manifest at the expense of others, but rather in harmony with the highest good of all concerned. Remember that consciousness is one, that we are all expressions of the same infinite awareness, that what benefits one ultimately benefits all. Manifest from love rather than fear, from abundance rather than lack, from unity rather than separation. As you develop this practice of conscious creation before sleep, you will begin to notice change not just in your external circumstances, but in yourself. You will become more confident, more peaceful, more joyful, because you will know that you are not at the mercy of external conditions, but are the creator of your own experience. You will develop what I call the feeling of the wish fulfilled as your natural state, regardless of what your senses may report about your current circumstances. This transformation of consciousness is the real miracle, more valuable than any specific manifestation. When you truly understand that you are the operant power in your world, that consciousness is the only reality, and everything else is consciousness pushed out, you become free in a way that most people never experience. You become the master of your fate, the captain of your soul, the conscious creator of your own experience. Your nightly practice will evolve as you grow in understanding and ability. What begins as a simple imaginal scene repeated before sleep will develop into a sophisticated understanding of consciousness operates, how states of being create experiences, how assumptions harden into facts. You will learn to detect the subtle changes in your own state of consciousness and to make fine adjustments that create profound changes in your world. You will also learn to recognize the signs that your manifestation is taking form in the unseen realm before it appears in the seen world. You will notice changes in yourself, in your feelings, in your reactions to circumstances. You will find opportunities appearing, people entering your life circumstances shifting in ways that support your desired outcome. These are not coincidences, but evidence that consciousness is rearranging your world to match your new assumption. Most importantly, you will develop unwavering faith in the law of consciousness, not because someone taught it to you or because you read it in a book, but because you will have proven it again and again in your own experience. You will know beyond doubt that whatever you can imagine and feel to be true about yourself will manifest in your world, not because you hope it will, but because you have seen it happen repeatedly. This faith is not blind belief, but scientific certainty based on repeated experimentation and consistent results. Just as you have faith that the sun will rise tomorrow because you have observed this phenomenon countless times, you will have faith in the law of manifestation because you will have observed its operation in your own life countless times. But perhaps most beautiful of all, you will come to understand that the desires you seek to manifest are not foreign to your nature, but are expressions of your true self seeking to emerge into fuller expression. The abundance you seek to manifest is the expression of your divine nature, as an infinite being temporarily playing in a finite form. The love you seek to manifest is the love that you are, seeking to know itself more completely through relationship. The health you seek to manifest is the perfection that is your true nature, temporarily obscured by false beliefs, but never actually absent. In this understanding, manifestation becomes not about getting something you lack, but about revealing what you already are. Not about adding to yourself, but about removing the barriers to the expression of your true nature. You begin to see that the universe you have been asking for your desires is not separate from you, but is you, the larger, truer, more complete you that exists beyond the limitations of your current self-concept. This is the ultimate secret of manifestation, that what you seek is seeking you, that what you desire to experience is consciousness itself, seeking to know itself more fully through your individual experience. Your desires are not selfish wants, but cosmic impulses, not personal cravings, but the evolutionary urge of consciousness itself to expand, to grow, to become more of what it truly is. When you understand this, your nightly practice of asking the universe for your desires becomes a form of worship, a celebration of the infinite creative power that you are, a joyful participation in the eternal dance of consciousness, creating reality through imagination. You realize that you are not manipulating cosmic forces to satisfy your ego, but are aligning with the deepest urges of life itself to grow, to expand, to become. And so tonight, as you prepare for sleep, approach your practice with this understanding. Know that you are about to engage in the most sacred act possible, the conscious creation of reality through imagination. Know that the power you wield is the same power that creates and sustains the universe, that beats your heart, that grows flowers from seeds, that turns winter into spring. Feel the magnitude of this power, but also feel its gentleness, its love, its desire for your highest good. Know that consciousness wants to fulfill your desires not because you deserve them or have earned them, but because the fulfillment desires is a fulfillment of its own nature, as infinite possibility seeking finite expression. Rest in this knowing as you begin your imaginal scene. Let this understanding infuse your practice with reverence, with gratitude, with joy. You are not begging the universe for favors, but are recognizing your true identity as the universe individualized, not asking for something outside yourself, but claiming what is already yours in consciousness. And tomorrow, when you wake, will wake not to the same old world of limitation and lack, but to a world pregnant with possibility, A world that is even now reshaping itself to accommodate your new assumption. A world that must reflect back to you what you have made real in imagination. This is your destiny, my friends, not to be victims of circumstance, but masters of fate. Not to be subjects of an external kingdom, but rulers of the kingdom of consciousness that you are. This is the truth that will set you free. The understanding that will transform your life. The power that will make you the deliberate creator of your own wonderful human experience. Sleep well tonight, knowing that as you sleep, the universe within you works to bring your imaginal acts into physical manifestation. Rest in the confidence that consciousness never fails, that what you make real in imagination must become real in experience, that your faithfully imagined desires are even now taking form in the invisible realm before stepping forth into visibility. And remember always that you are not separate from the power that creates worlds. You are that power, individualized and localized as the wonderful being you know as yourself. In recognizing this truth and living from this understanding, you become what you are always meant to be, a conscious collaborator with consciousness itself in the eternal project of creating reality in imagination. The universe has been waiting for you to remember who you are, to claim your power, to take your rightful place as the conscious creator of your own experience. Tonight, as you ask the universe for your desires, you are really remembering your true identity, acknowledging your divine nature and stepping into the magnificence that is your birthright as consciousness itself expressing through human form.